Before we get into the video, do not forget to like, comment and subscribe. Now just before I start, I want to just quickly say I appreciate everybody that's watching these videos. Now that's all said and done, let's get down to it. It seems like police have charged the person responsible for the sadistic and heinous murder of Somerset couple who were stabbed to death over a long-standing feud over parking space on their new build estate in Norton Fitzwarren, close to Taunton. So the ex-soldier, who's worked as part of the Royal Engineers, Collin Reeves, is a father of two, and also he is married himself. Now despite the fact he went round to his neighbour's house in a fit of absolute rage, he must have seen the red mist, and he ended up stabbing the married couple to death, after what I can only assume is an argument had taken place. This all happened while the victim's young children were upstairs asleep. Now just think about that for a moment. A soldier, who's supposed to be the epitome of discipline, a credit to our country, committed one of the most outlandish crimes you can think of, all because of constant arguments about parking space. He murdered a married couple, knowing that he would leave young children without parents as a result of his direct actions. How selfish can you be? Residents told newspapers that the ex-soldier Collin Reeves and neighbours IT manager Stephen Chapple and his wife Jennifer Chapple bickered about the fact that the new build estate had narrow roads, and residents often left their cars in front of each other's driveways, essentially blocking them in. Now, days prior to Jennifer and Stephen being murdered, the victim was seen on camera arguing with a neighbour about parking space again, and being accosted also. So in the video, an unknown man swore at Jennifer Chapple, calling her all the names under the sun. Now, to be honest, I don't want to disrespect the dead, so I'm not going to repeat them, but it does include childish insults that were meant to belittle and demean a person. F-bombs were launched, the C-word was used constantly, among other insults. So neighbours also said that the parking was such an issue that police were called to the estate where houses go for at least £250,000, at least 3 times in the last month alone. Again, this is a case where a soldier not being able to curb his bloodlust. As he has been charged, we can also assume that there is sufficient evidence to hold him accountable for his actions. Now, if the charges are true, 34-year-old ex-soldier Collin Reeves did murder married couple Stephen Chapple and Jennifer Chapple inside their own home, while again their young children slept upstairs. Then we know he may have forced entry and exerted his dominance and went on a murderous rampage, stabbing them multiple times. Now, what gives him the right to take 2 lives? Why was his needs so much more important than others? And finally, why would he ruin his own life also, and that of his wife's and his own kids, because he is a pure dickhead? Avon and Somerset police said post-mortem examinations found that both Mrs. Chapple and her husband died from multiple stab wounds. That death must have been excruciating. And when police and ambulance services arrived at the scene on Sunday, November 21st at roughly 9:25 p.m, the victims were quickly pronounced dead. All I can say is this is a complete and utter stupid murder of a parking space. The guy could have easily got the police involved or move away. All I can say is condolences. Stay safe. Safe.